Hello everyone. In this video I want to talk about mass. Don't worry, there won't be any equations. What is mass? Mass is the quantity of matter in a physical body. It's important to note that mass never goes away. Let's say your spaceship is far away from any gravity source and you are not accelerating, you are not decelerating, you are just drifting. Your ship still has mass. Each time you want to accelerate or decelerate, or each time you want to change your vectors, you have to accelerate and decelerate the mass of your spaceship. The Deutsche Tourenwagenmeisterschaft has a penalty system. If a manufacturer's cars are doing too well, or if a pilot is winning too many races, they are putting extra mass in your car, up to 5% extra mass. This does not mean that you cannot fight for the top anymore, but it's a lot harder. You have to brake earlier and your car is accelerating slower. Okay, let's take a look at Star Citizen. First, the usual disclaimer, this game is an alpha and has a long way to go. There will be a lot more balancing in the years to come. And in the data I'm going to show you, I only look at max, pitch, yaw and roll. This is a simplification because we also have jerk and initial acceleration. Keep this in mind, still this data is quite valid. Okay, let's take a look at the data. We have ships and max pitch, max yaw, max roll. And I have a combined score, just adding those numbers. The higher this number is, the more agile is your ship. And yes, keep in mind, I don't have initial acceleration, I don't have jerk in this data. I think this would make this data too complex. On top we have Gladius. Yeah, Gladius is CRG's darling since 3.14. Next, Arrow. Yeah, Arrow at only around 60% mass of a Gladius is not as agile, so this is not very good. Buccaneer at around 80% mass of a Gladius, not as agile. Then we have Scorpio. Scorpio is an outlier in the other direction. She is way too agile, but Yogi already said Scorpio's agility will get nerfed. Next outlier is Mercury Starrunner. She is way too agile for her mass. Yeah, now some people might say, yeah, but you could use bigger thrusters. Yes, you could use bigger thrusters, but those bigger thrusters are adding mass, and those bigger, more powerful thrusters are needing a lot more fuel. I'm not talking about 10% more, I'm talking about double, triple, or even an order of magnitude more fuel. Fuel you would have to carry, and fuel that would add mass to your ship. And you could ask yourself, if I have a very massive ship that's very agile, what about structural integrity? Wouldn't it just break apart? Yeah. Then we have Freelancer, which is an outlier in the other direction. She is way too sluggish for her mass. Same for Cutlass Black. And of course, Hercules C2. This ship with a mass of 3,139 tons is way too agile for her mass. Carrack, again, way too agile for her mass. And of course we have Andromeda and Redeemer, which are way too sluggish for her mass. Look at this and compare it to Carrack and Hercules C2. This is okay. 890 jump at 44,237 tons. More agile than Starfarer at less than 10% of her mass. So what is my point? Star Citizen is not a simulation but a game with game rules, which is totally fine for a game. I'm not looking for another Kerbal. Having some leeway in a game to make it more fun is perfectly fine. However, why have stats like mass when they have no meaning in your game and are just a number? Yeah, this I find really strange. When it comes to agility, mass should be the major factor, to lesser extent shape. If for law reasons a certain manufacturer, Crusader, makes better thrusters, fine, make those ships have a 10% advantage. Yes, a slight advantage, but not make your Mercury Starrunner more agile than heavy fighters and your Hercules C2 a lot more agile than ships like Andromeda and Redeemer, which only have like 12% of her mass. And of course, using agility to balance chips is perfectly fine. However, totally ignoring mass isn't a good idea. If I would make a wild guess, I would think, yeah, Andromeda has a lot of guns, Redeemer has a lot of guns, so let's make them sluggish, which would be fine, but not if you totally ignore their mass. And I'm not saying CRG should calculate agility strictly by mass, then massive ships would be way too sluggish. But a ship 8 times the mass of another ship should never be as agile or even more agile. Even games should have some basic rules, not talking about perfect physics, just some basic rules, otherwise your game is just magic. Let me know what you think in the comments below and see you next time. Bye. Auf Wiedersehen. Okay, and now we are doing it for real. Cutler steel is our target. And go.
Self-destruct sequence is online.
Starting self-destruct. I hope I wasn't too early. I might have been too early. Nope. I landed exactly on top of the steel and destroyed her. Hey, you're still here. You might want to join me on Twitter. My Twitter account is Camural_SC.